Everybody, and welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League for our Wednesday championship, brand new championship. And this is race 2 of the very first round. We are still in Chichester in the UK at Goodwood, just over 2 miles of tarmac with about 9 turns ahead of us. Now fantastic racing in race 1, which saw Stormfly take the win. This race, however, is a completely random grid, so you could end up starting anywhere. So we will have a bit of a look down. There is no order to this grid at all. It is completely random. So we're going to have a look down, and then we'll get this race 2 underway, shall we? So Osman finds himself on pole position with Bennett just behind him in second. Smith is third. Scooby's fourth. Brownie is fifth. Unforgiven 6th. Grasshopper 7th. Brian Moncani 8th. Willard is 9th, 10th is Wadrew, Neil Farmack 11th, and race 1 winner Stormfly is now finding himself all the way at the back. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. Could be a change of tyres for some people. Remember, mediums do have to be used in at least one of the races. So we'll change the camera. It does look a little bit darker out there. I think this is an afternoon race, but a typical UK. It's a bit murky out there. I hope the rain doesn't come. The crowd all ready and raring for this race to go, so let's get it underway, shall we? We've got 5 lights and we are away, and just for a change, it is a grid start. We usually do the rolling starts, but the grid starts, and we absolutely love them, especially in these cars. And it's all hustle and bustle as we're going into turn 1. Everybody jostling for position, and the track's not wide enough really, but everybody's managed to stay on the grey stuff, which is fantastic. Unlike in League 2, we had a few of us going off and testing the green stuff. But at the minute, T. Bennett has managed to get himself ahead of Osman in the Corolla. That little car is really coming into its own now, and he's off and running. So Bennett out in front, then Osman in second, Smith in third, Scooby fourth. Then we've got Unforgiven, Grasshopper, Wadrew, Neil Farmack. Stormfly has made his way up to 9th, Brownie in 10th, Willard 11th, and Brian Moncani 12th. Everybody still very bunched up as we go through Ford Water at turn 2, and no, we're even further than that, aren't we? Blimey, I'm looking at the map the wrong way round. I do apologise. We're actually coming around turn 6 at Woodcote now, so this is how quick these laps are going. Into the chicane. It's all going to get very tight in there. Very sensible. Everybody just slotting in one behind the other as Bennett goes across the line to start lap 2. Still out in front. Osman in second then. He's after him. Smith. Oh, Smith's gone a bit wide. So did Scooby. Can they get back onto the track? Yes, they can. All nice and safe. Although it's cost them a little bit of a little position on the track. It's still very bunched up, isn't it? And I bet the old hearts are pumping in these cars. You can see Wadrew there. He's having a bit of a fight with Stormfly, as Stormfly tries to make his way through the pack and get himself up onto the podium. He's been looking for race for win number 2. Wadrew though has got other ideas. Oh, we do have a spinner at the back. Let's just have a look. It was Brian Moncani, I think, that came unstuck. Let's just see what happened to Brian Moncani as we go around turn 5. Oh, it's onto that grass, a bang. That's got to hurt, although it has bounced him back onto the track so he can carry on. That was quite lucky actually for Brian. He could have ended up facing the wrong way or upside down, but the barrier actually threw him back onto the track so he can carry on racing. So there's a bit of work for him to do, but it could have been a lot worse. So that's Brian now down in 12. Bennett, however, up in the lead, and he's got a couple of car lengths gap as well. So Bennett absolutely loving it out there at the minute. He is on the soft tyres. Let's have a look. Osman on the mediums. Unforgiven has made his way up into 3rd, so he's having a good second race so far. He's also on the medium tyres, as is Neil Farmack. Maybe everybody's gone for the medium tyres. Let's have a look. Smith on the mediums. No, Grasshopper He's gone for softs, so he's saving the mediums for the final race. Obviously the tyre wear going to be just a little bit higher in race 3, so maybe that's at the back of Grasshopper's mind. Wadru, he's on the mediums, so is Brownie, so is Scooby. Keep going, keep going. Oh, Brian Marcali, what's happened to Brian? Oh, there he is. The cameraman fell asleep then, didn't realise. Maybe the director had to give him a shout at his ear hole then. Thought Brian McConney had disappeared. So yeah, there's only a couple of guys on the soft tyres, isn't there? Grasshopper and Bennett. Well, Bennett out in front and Grasshopper in P6. So they're the only two on soft tyres then for race 2. Everybody else will be on the soft tyres in race 3, but with the higher wear, that could be a problem for some. And also, just to mention, the fuel usage will be higher in race 3 as well. So Bennett leading Osman then around Goodwood. Neil Farmack in 3rd, looking at getting himself back on the podium again. Unforgiven in 4th in the Mercedes. Oh, taking an awful lot of grass there through St Mary's. I was going to say he did well actually to keep it, but no, he's gone. Is he ever coming back? Yes, there he is. I thought he'd be gone for a very long while, but he's back on track, but all the way down in 12th. That was so unlucky. Let's just have a look and see what happened to Unforgiven. So we got around turn 3. Oh, and it was there. Just couldn't get the car slowed down to turn into turn 3. Completely missed St Mary's out and goes off onto the grass, but well, actually did well to stop it where he did. So that's unlucky then for Unforgiven, all the way down to 12th. Let's see if we can find where the fighting is, as Osman chases down Bennett. Neil Farmack chases down Osman. Smith and Wadru seem to be having a bit of a battle. Let's jump on board with Wadru as we're chasing Smith down. Wadru having a bit of a look up the inside as we go into turn 6. Smith just trying to stop the back end of that BMW going around. It looks like Wadru got the drop on him there and got into the chicane first. That was very tight. That chicane is not designed to go too wide, and Smith just had to back out at the very last minute. Great move from Wadru though to move him up into P4, but Smith coming back at him now through turn 1, trying to keep it on the grey stuff, but get the power down nice and early. And now let's just see what that Mercedes has got compared to the BMW, as Smith chases Wadru down now to try and regain P4, although Stormfly is all over Smith as they go into turn 3, into turn 4. Stormfly looking at trying to get in a better exit, really putting the pressure on Smith up to turn 5. Smith taking the inside line. If Stormfly wants this, he's got to go all the way around the outside, unless he uses the old switcheroo, and that's what he's looking for. He gets himself on the inside of Smith onto Levant Straight. Now it is just a straight drag race down towards turn 6, and Grasshopper fancies to get involved in this party as well. He's desperately looking for a way through, trying to follow Stormfly. Stormfly gets the job done just before they get into turn 6. Smith holding on to P6 with Grasshopper sniffing around the back end, trying to nick that spot as well. I think he was trying to follow Stormfly through, but just ran out of track. Although it does like Grasshopper now is on the charge and putting Smith under pressure as they go into turn 1. Smith though closes the door on him, or does he? Maybe gone a bit too wide. He has. Smith has gone too wide. He's gone onto the grass. Oh no! And decides to do a bit of ballet, a double 360. I mean, it looked fantastic, but I'm sure Smith will be absolutely cussing and cursing. He just nicked a bit of grass there, and that was enough. It threw him off. A bit of a bang on the barrier, which throws him across the track, and there we go. And we all feel very dizzy and travel sick now after that, and I'm sure Smith does as well. So he's got to give his head a bit of a wobble and try and refocus as Unforgiven goes through, and poor old Mr. Smith ends up down in 12th. But what a spectacular sight for the crowd, right in front of all of the private planes as well. Actually, this is what the guys flew in on, and they've parked all their planes right in the middle of the track, which is quite convenient for them, isn't it? Out at the top though is Osman and Neil Farmer. They've continued where they left off in race 1, and they are having a proper deal. Oh, where's Osman going? Come back. Osman's gone off. Neil Farmer says thank you very much and moves up into P2. Osman cussing and cursing in Welsh as he goes through the chicane. He just couldn't get that Hyundai slowed down enough into turn 6, so he's now in P3 and he's having to do a bit of chasing now. He's got to push hard, hasn't he, if he wants to get on the next level on the podium. Still on the podium, so nothing wrong with that in P3, but I'm sure he'll want to get a little bit higher up. The battle behind continues as well with Stormfly and Wadru. Stormfly into P4, Wadru though on the chase. In fact, we'll go on board with Wadru as we go through St Mary's then. Stormfly getting a bit too much grass there, but managing to hold on to it. Flames licking out the exhaust of that BMW. Not sure what he's feeding it to make the flames come out like that, probably vodka or something. But Stormfly going down Levant straight towards turn 6 then. Wadru, quick look in the mirror, and there is no pressure whatsoever, so all concentration on Stormfly. Oh, so I thought Wadru was going to go on the inside there, and a bit of a mistake from Stormfly. And now Wadru really sniffing there. You want to get too close, Wadru, otherwise he'll set fire to the front of your car. But Wadru really putting the pressure on Stormfly. Into turn 1 we go. And that's a good example if you follow Stormfly there. A great example, not that bit there taking a bit too much grass, but a great example of how to do turn 1. So good racing between Wadru and Stormfly. Willard at the back. We're not seeing much of Willard, as we, so we'll stick with Willard for a couple of turns. We're about just coming up to the 10-minute mark, so just over 5 minutes to go. Willard in the BMW. He's got some defending to do against Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani had a fantastic race 1 in which saw him get onto the podium at I think P2. I think he finished in the end, so we know how quick Brian Moncani is. Willard doing a great job though of keeping him behind. I'm currently holding on to P6 as the light really does start to fade here in Chichester. So Brian in 7th then, looking to put the pressure on. We've got about another, I guess 4 laps to go. So Brian has got plenty of opportunity as they go through the chicane there. Brian did look the quicker as they came up to that chicane, and I think he may have got a better exit as well actually, but Willard in the BMW should have the pace to keep Brian behind him on these quick straights. But with the slipstream and Brian's skill, well, who knows? He could be making a move pretty quickly. Let's have a look and see what we've got going elsewhere. So Brownie, he's having his own little battle. Oh, let's just jump back up to Brian and Willard, because it does look like Brian has got past. He's gone the long way round St Mary's, and well held actually, Brian Moncani. No sliding at all there. So Brian does move up into P6, Willard into 7. Then we've got Brownie and Scooby. They're having a little fight for P8. Brownie in the only Civic. Oh, and he went a bit deep there. Scooby took the tighter inside line and took full advantage, and has now moved up into P8. Brownie in 9th, although Brownie is coming back at him as they come down the straight towards Woodcote. It is side by side. Brownie on the inside though. Hard on the brakes, trying to get them cars slowed down. Scooby tucked right underneath the rear wing of that Civic as they go into the chicane. Oh, both taking too much grass really. That was fortunate for Brownie, because I thought he took too much grass, and Scooby was going to take full advantage, but Scooby just followed him across the grass as well. The groundsman will be shaking his fist at these guys, because he's the one that's got to go and repair all these tyre marks. But great racing nevertheless. Unforgiven in 10th. little bit quiet for him. Really down in 10th. He had that big spill, didn't he, at turn 4 earlier, and I don't think he's quite recovered from that. But still going. Smith in 11. And then Grasshopper, well, again, maybe he's just pulled over to change somebody's tyre or something, I don't know, but he is down in 12th. Which is not like Grasshopper, really. He is a very fast driver, actually, Grasshopper, a self-proclaimed alien. So to see him down in 12th is quite unusual. But let's go back up to the pointy end, shall we? And Bennett doing an absolute fantastic job of staying out in front. Led from the off, really. I think he got in front of Osman at turn 1, and that was that. He's been in front ever since. On the softer tyres. And then we've got everybody else on the mediums then. So Neil Farmack still sitting in 2nd, with Stormfly now has made his way up into 3rd as he just makes a pass on Osman as they go through turn 3. Then we go into St Mary's. Stormfly, yeah, just ahead of Osman. So Stormfly managed to get away from Wadru and has made up some ground on these guys. Got himself up onto the podium. So does he sense another win? This is going to be interesting. Stormfly just romped to victory in race 1. Nobody could get anywhere near him, but now he's had to fight his way through the pack, and what a fantastic job he's done. Osman, though, fighting back at him. Stormfly holding the inside line, but Osman goes around the outside and gets the job done before they even get to turn 6. That was a great move from Osman. Slipstream really coming into play there, into the chicane, trying to keep it nice and clean. You can see the tyre marks on that grass. The poor old groundsman shaking his head, thinking, why do I even bother? So these 4 having a proper battle then. It could be anybody's, as we're just coming up to the last 30 seconds. So I'm just going to leave them to it, and I'm going to go down and see if everybody... Well, I've just noticed there that Brian Marconi has got the fuel light on, so maybe he's got to do a little bit of fuel saving. All of the guys getting through. Let's have a look. Even Grasshopper is going to cross the line with Smith. Well, he's down in 12th. Is he going to cross the line? Yes, he is. So Smith is going to get another lap in as well. Whether he wants to or not is another thing, but he will. So back up to the top then, and Bennett really coming under pressure now from Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack senses the win, but then again so does Stormfly as they head on down the straight for the final time. Neil Farmack having to do a little bit of defending whilst trying to attack, and it looks like Neil Farmack's got himself in front as they go into turn 6. It's almost side by side. Neil Farmack gets to the turn first. Stormfly goes through as well to take P2, and Bennett, who's led for the entire race, has now been demoted down to P3. What fantastic racing, and then he's still a scrap to the finish line as Neil Farmack celebrates with a win. Stormfly in 2nd, Bennett in 3rd, Woodrow across the line in 4th, Brian Moncani 5th, with Willard, he's going to take 6th. So what happened to Osman? We're going to go back and have a look, I think. Willard 6th, Osman 7th. In fact, let's just go back and see what happened to Osman. He was 3rd. Oh, there it was. There it was. Well, that's what I mean about you go off and you just keep going off. And yeah, the game reset him, so that's unlucky for Osman, so that's why he ended up where he did. So Osman across the line in 7th, Scooby gets 8th, Brownie 9th, Unforgiven across the line in 10th, Grasshopper will finish in 11th with Smith, a disappointing 12th for him. But as I say, it is early days in these races. This is only round 1, race 2, so I'm sure Smith will be back after, I say, a bit of tweaking. We have got one more race to bring you, and I will be back with that very shortly. Thanks for watching.